Hello, everyone. Welcome to another review from Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined today by Austin, Anthony, Alex, and Jack, and we're here to review Donkey Kong Bananza. We're going to get right into it. So, excuse my voice. I've been sick. The first part of the review is going to be spoiler free, and then we'll get into a spoiler section after that. After we give our review scores. So let's. I guess I'll start. Donkey Kong Bananza is a hoot. I absolutely loved it. The thing I probably loved the most was the fact that the environments were destructible. I don't know why I didn't. I thought it would be fun to do, but until I got my hands on it and started playing, it was a riot. I loved it. It was so satisfying. Oh my gosh, the crunch of the environment and the way you could grab it and ride on it or throw it or whatever, just pound it into oblivion, and seeing the particle effects everywhere was especially gold. When you smash through gold and you're getting rich, and oh man, it was just like eye candy everywhere. And I guess not to mention the other part I really loved is the inclusion of Pauline. Was super fun. And going back to our previous discussion, we talked about if she really fit into the game or if she was forced. I came around. I think she fits perfectly in this game, and I loved her inclusion. I wouldn't have it either way. I just absolutely love this game. All right, Austin, let's go to you, man.
Sweet. So a lot of things about this game. Like you mentioned, I love how they incorporated the voxel technology, just this whole, completely destructible terraform, just the ability to get anywhere. You see something in the distance when you use an ability, it kind of gives you like a sonar ability, and you just beeline it towards that spot. And to that point, there's actually, I love how they allow for various ways to accomplish any given tasks.
Yes.
It gives it very much a feel like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, where you can be very innovative in your approach to doing any quest or goal. And I just thought the game was very beautiful, had a lot of charm to it that'll appeal to anybody, especially those who enjoyed Mario Odyssey. And there are a lot of great throwbacks, which we'll get into in the spoiler section. The music element is just phenomenal. I mean, both the background compositions, but also as a mechanic in the story, it plays a pretty significant role, which I always appreciate in games. And then, it's not a perfect game. While the visuals are incredibly simplistic in some areas, it's also absolutely gorgeous in others. There were some dips in frame rates for me, especially highly intensive moments like the final boss fights, or when you're just viewing the map and you go back, to the gameplay, it starts to drag a little bit, but camera angles can start to get wonky. The level of difficulty was great. Like, there was some moments that it was really challenging, and other moments where, for me personally, I played this in 2-player mode, which made some things easier, like boss fights.
Easy mode.
Yeah, right. But did it take away from the enjoyment factor? I mean, it certainly added to the difficulty at times where my 4-year-old son was destroying the ground beneath my feet, turning into a literal game of the floor is lava at times. But overall, I had a blast. So I'm thrilled, about this game, and I definitely would recommend it. So
I love it. All right, Anthony, how about you, man?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I think I said this in a previous discussion. I wasn't sure about the destructible environments. I felt like that would kind of make it too difficult to make a structured experience, but I think they managed to strike the balance. I think there was a couple of different ways that they, made that possible. I think they still had kind of defined boundaries in the world beyond which you couldn't destroy, I don't know, overall the game still kind of had you move along this path that still gave you the experience with the story, which was another thing that pleasantly surprised me. I won't get into the reasons why, because that'll be saved for the spoiler section, but there's a surprisingly heartfelt story in this game. I wasn't expecting that at all, and honestly, I think between that, of course the gameplay. I really, I feel like they just made it very, almost stereotypically well done. And I say stereotypically because the Mario Odyssey team, they're 2 for 2 so far. It just kind of seems like their MO. Yeah. So gameplay was great. I loved the music as well, and I think that the way that it ties into the story is a big part of the reason why for me. We'll get into that later, but yeah, it was. I went in just expecting a fun Donkey Kong romp, and I came out being like, "Dang, that was more like a Disney movie starring Donkey Kong and Pauline." But like the old oldie but goodie Disney movies from the 90s or something like that. Seriously, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, so
love it. How about you, Alex?
Yeah, so Anthony and I go back to old school Donkey Kong. So some of his complaints, I had the same complaints. When I saw the reveal of this game, I thought, ooh, more Donkey Kong. I'm a huge fan.
Ooh, banana?
Yeah.
Banana.
Oh, banana.
I'm a huge fan of Donkey Kong. My first video game ever is actually Donkey Kong Country. That is where it started for me. The Donkey Kong Country trilogy is among my favorites, all 3 of them. I'm one of the few rare people who's beaten Donkey Kong 64, which, by the way, I love that game. Not many people, a lot of people played it, not many people have beaten it, for reasons we're not going to get into. But when I saw the trailer, I thought, ooh, Donkey Kong, and then it showed the destructible terrain, and I just instantly was turned off. I was just like, I honestly was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to play this. I just had this vision or this, I already created it in my mind that it was just like going to have some Minecraft aspect where the whole game you're just going to be digging and searching for hidden stuff. Well, to my surprise and to my joy, the digging part of the game, while it is a big mechanic to the game, it's also very, optional as far as discoveries. You don't have to find all the medals and medallions and all that. But the digging part was one of the most satisfying things in this game that really I warmed up to fast, because it was, I don't know how they did it, but they did it. They made the digging part a fun mechanic to the game. And from the beginning all the way to the end, I was just, whenever I felt like it, I'm like, I'm just going to dig through this mountain. And the game was awesome. I'm just going to put it that way. I've beaten it about 2 weeks ago, and sometimes it takes a minute for you to really look back and think of your thoughts, and I've really realized that, man, that game was awesome. I would totally play it again. So it's a winner. It's an absolute winner for the Switch 2 and Nintendo. So
love it, Alex. I totally agree. All right, Jack, how about you, man? I love your picture.
Oh, thank you, Steven. But I would say the best part of the game was every time you get a banana, it goes, ooh, banana.
Ooh, banana.
That's all I have to say. Sorry, guys.
That's all I have to say. Did we cover everything else?
That's your N64 reference.
Yeah, we already did everything else. But honestly, I really loved that it wasn't a collectathon like DK64, because Alex said it, but you get to the end of the game and it's like, hey, here's the end boss. You need 500 bananas to get to him. And I'm like, see you later, game. And DK Bananza had none of that. So the bananas are tied directly to just optional power for the player. You don't need you can beat the game without getting a single banana, I think.
I will say,
really the point. That's how kind of pointless they are to the actual plot, but it's fun to get them because they give you actual power, like able to slide better or use your DK Bananza powers better. I guess I shouldn't spoil anything, but that was just something I really appreciated as somebody who hates collectathons and the end throwing you like collect this much to get to the final boss, and I just I don't want to play anymore after that happens.
Let's give our scores. I'll start. I will give this game a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
Austin, how about you, man?
I'd have to say 8.7 out of 10.
Austin will be kicked out of the panel later. I'm just kidding. Anthony, how about you, man?
Yeah, I think I'm probably landing at about a 9.5. I think I had some similar like performance complaints as Austin. There was a few points that I feel like that kind of dragged it down a bit, but overall, it was pretty spectacular.
That's fair.
You gotta give
Alex?
them credit. I mean, considering this huge task of the voxel technologies, and really the dips weren't super.
No, they really
super
weren't
bad. But
They
they
terrible,
were
but
distracting
still
at
there.
times.
it was. Yeah, I feel like it was only at times where it was so extreme, though, and that's why I'm saying it's like props to the developers. So anyway,
Yeah, no,
sorry.
honestly, the amount of programming effort that would have been required to put that together is I imagine astronomical. So
And optimize it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like people are kind of armchair developing it. Like, they could have done better. I don't really think they did it with the hardware.
Yeah.
I need to get all the way off those developers' backs about this.
Let me get off that thing.
Let me get off that thing. Alex, how about you, man?
Oh man, I'll give it a solid 8.5.
Does he get kicked out too?
Alrighty.
We can go hang out,
see.
Alex.
Kicking
No, I
everybody
guess-
out.
I guess his is lower than yours, so I'll kick Alex out and I'll keep you, Austin. Jack, how about you, man?
I'll be the sacrificial lamb with an 8.49.
Wow. And you heard it here first. That brings the official Simply Nerdy score to 9 out of 10.
All right.
Not
Superb.
too shabby at all. All right. Now we're going to get into the spoiler section. So if you've not played the game, please stop here, play the game. Trust me, we're going to spoil probably the ending first. So go play it and come back in 3, 2, 1. How about that ending? Anthony, I want to hear
Oh
from you
my
because
gosh.
I know you were particularly excited about that ending.
Yeah, okay. I'll go first. Yeah, so I just felt like the entire ending sequence was just a series of them saying to themselves, "Hold my banana," over and over and over again. I mean, like, I couldn't believe how intense it got for just some Donkey Kong game, and one no less where he has a little girl riding on his back, but it just kept on getting so like that final layer, especially when you start going down toward the Heart of Gold and you like have all those different sub layers and you're fighting through all the Kremlings, which, by the way, that reveal was just so
my
amazing
goodness.
for me.
How
For me,
about
it
that?
was-
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, wait a minute, that's one of the crocodile dudes. And he made the same sound effect, and I'm just like, oh, and it was just like
Yes, it was
that
like
moment where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm experiencing this. Like,
You got
anyway,
monkey
just-
brain.
what was that?
And I don't know why.
You got
I
monkey
don't know
brain.
why, but I did not see King K. Rool being in there at all. I didn't
See,
realize
I
it was his stomach. And
I
was
had a
why didn't
hope. The whole entire game, I had the hope. I was like, what if King K. Rool makes an appearance? And then we got close to the ending, and I was like, no, it's just President Void. But man, that reveal was flawless.
It was so
I
good.
mean, his belly, I just died. Oh my
We all thought it was an
gosh.
eyeball, and then
Yeah, I did. I didn't think it was his stomach. But anyway, the Kremlings were so fun. It was so fun to see the Kremlings in this game, and their sound effects, Anthony, like you were saying.
And the vultures and
Nostalgic
the
game.
bees, the buzzes.
Yes.
Yeah, they brought
they
it.
all had the same sound effects, and I'm just sitting here
Uh-huh.
being like, how am I having? It was like that one of those weird, like sci-fi moments when suddenly you're like living your childhood and your adulthood at the same time.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like but
No,
yeah,
seriously though.
so I loved that. The final sequence was just crazy intense. You're fighting King K. Rool. That was a pretty enjoyable, challenging battle, and then you ride platform of bananas up through the planet, and then you end up in New Donk City, and it goes a post-apocalyptic, and you have to climb through. And I'm just sitting like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I'm just sitting here trying to think, what is this game that I'm playing? This someone showed me a screenshot of this without Donkey Kong in it. I'm like, I have no idea what this is, but it's not Donkey Kong. Anyway, and then the final fight with King K. Rool, that. I was just impressed. It was a long, protracted fight, but not in a way that was annoying. It was more like, dang, I'm really having to fight for every inch. That guy's health bar is hardly moves, and he can kick your trash with 2 hits. And it was exciting to me. And then just the relationship they created between DK and Pauline was also surprisingly heartwarming. And that, I think, it was perfectly illustrated by the end credits song, Heart of Gold, Breaking Through Heart of Gold. I think that's what it's called.
Yes. Yeah.
That song, oh man, all the feels, especially when it does the old DK theme in the middle.
Yes.
I heard that and I was like,
Agreed.
no! Oh my gosh!
Let's do it now.
I can't keep liking this guy more. You guys are going to make my brain explode. Anyway.
Yeah, that was an awesome callback to that. Yeah.
Alex and Jackie, you guys wanted to pitch in. Sorry.
The ending was a true love letter to Donkey Kong fans. It's plain and simple. Adding to Anthony mentioning the big final reveal in the boss, I think what they did here was they made a true memory for new gamers as far as what a final boss should be, because let's be honest, the bosses in this game are fairly easy. Now, I'm saying that as somebody who's been gaming my whole life. I'm sure there's a lot of kids who, can you imagine if this is your first game ever? We're talking kids who are 8, 9, or 7, and this is their first game. Some of these bosses are going to be challenging to them. And to have the ending abruptly, first of all, it completely pulls the stunt that the first Donkey Kong game did. I was even expecting it. As Donkey Kong and Pauline are blasting to the surface, it's all of a sudden credits. And I'm like, these credits are so abrupt and they're so quick. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're so doing it. And they did. And it pulled the whole, just kidding, this isn't the credits. And King K. Rool just comes flying in again. That was one of my biggest video game memories, is when that happened to me on the Super Nintendo. And so I can't help but think that there's some kids who are experiencing this for themselves where, oh, just kidding. And not just kidding. We're giving you a fight that's probably going to be harder than all the bosses combined. So they completely gave these people who are playing this for their first game or the first time a true ending sequence that they're not going to forget. Talk about an ending. The game had such a cool way out. It was just, everything was memorable about it, from the fight to the credits to just, wow. If the team that made this game gets props in anything, man, they really it's not like they rushed the ending. It's like they built the ending first, then made the game.
Yeah.
It was it was a genuine Sanderlanche, the way they did all that.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I was worried about it at first because, even after President Void was the antagonist for 95% of the game, it somehow just worked. Unlike Zelda Twilight Princess with the whole, guess what?
Yes.
It's Ganondorf. But in this case, I absolutely loved it. I was like, first of all, the reveal was hilarious, so that probably helped, drop my guard a little bit, but it made sense. I was kind of expecting it, as I mentioned earlier. When I was playing through the game, I was like, I wonder if King K. Rool's going to make an appearance. And then we just kept getting closer and closer to the end, and I'm like, nope, it's just going to be President Void, which I'm kind of glad, but anyway, that reveal was just, like I said, it was flawless. It was awesome.
I think also, just commenting on the comparison to Twilight Princess, the very big difference between the two is that Zant used to be cool, and then once he finally revealed that he's just some Ganondorf sycophant wannabe and immediately turns into a clown, that was the problem. Whereas Void was just some selfish
he was
guy
a clown the whole time.
I mean, well, that, but also like he wasn't like, my greatest wish is to resurrect King K. Rool and be his vassal and blah blah blah. Instead, it's just like, I want gold, and then he gets unlucky enough to get punched into a big floating ball of lava, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I feared. I feared that he was going to somehow announce like, I'm doing all of this in some way to serve King K. Rool, but that's not what they did, and it worked.
It was it was sufficiently different. It was not nearly as offensive. In fact, it worked. Yeah. Anyway,
better than Twilight Princess. But when King K. Rool came out, I was like, I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, this is the most Nintendo ending ever, where like the normal antagonist comes out like at the end, like Zelda stuff. But I was like, okay, I'll forgive them if they give me a rad Gangplank Galleon remix. And
they
while
did.
it's going up the bananas, like after the fake ending, which I grew out, so that was kind of my childhood playing Donkey Kong Country 1. So I remember that fake ending. I was like, oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. And then they come out of a rad Gangplank Galleon remix while you're fighting them on a banana going up the earth, and I'm like, this is like the coolest thing ever. I completely forgive them now.
yeah, it was hard to have any beef with them on that.
Yeah.
Especially since
then it just got even more extreme once you get to the city. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah. I thought they also did a really good job with their characterization of King K. Rool himself. Like, he's represented in kind of a goofy way, which is true to his character, but he also seems genuinely dangerous. And, you know, and like, I think they did a really good job of balancing that. I don't know, like the part when he's flying up the shaft with his, his rocket pack and, catching up. I don't know, it just seems like a dangerous. Anyway, I thought they did good.
He was such a good wild card, and I think we're not a minority, because I was kind of looking at that tonight with the Honest trailer, and there were so many videos I saw of people just praising that ending, and they're saying like how King K. Rool made a comeback 20 years ago, but it was fun. I think Void Kong was a good villain, and his buddies, and it had this interesting dynamic, but then it's like at the end they pull the rug from your feet, and King K. Rool enters the scene, and Void Kong he's kind of this predictable, like, obsessed with greed kind of villain. King K. Rool comes in and completely we're thrown into this primal, like, I just want to kill everybody villain, and it just throws you in a whole new loop of like, what happened here? It's like it was a good surprise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Went from greedy CEO to like literally a guy that wanted to rot the planet.
yeah. Which, if I may ask, how are people alive in that city?
Nobody knows. They just are. Okay.
They're just going to Deus Ex Machina that, or they'll just ignore, like, hey, this lots of people are dead now, and oh well.
It's the no, it's the power of the banana. They pull a marvel. And the snap of the fingers, but they can bring everyone back. So it's
they brought them all back.
They did the unsnap. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
There you go. The unsnap.
It's lore right there. That's canon.
So. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no! I was gonna change topics for a bit. So if you wanted to add more, go ahead.
I was gonna. This kind of does change the topic, but I wanted to bring it up before I forgot. But Jackson mentioned how this game isn't a collectathon, and I wanted to briefly mention that at the very ending, where you get to the planet core, there's a segment where these rocks keep asking you for large amounts of gold.
Yeah.
My question is, if you didn't have that gold, would it force you to go back? I think it would.
There are ways that you can actually bypass that.
Really?
You didn't have to use those Securitones and give them gold, but it definitely helped make things easier.
How do you
and that adds to my point. My whole point about how they allow for various ways to accomplish any given task. So you can, whether that's throwing dirt a billion times and creating a bridge, or actually what you could do in that section is use the snake Bananza and then transform into the ostrich when you're midair and then fly across to one of the little islands and then do the same thing over and over.
Really?
So yeah. And in fact, in the planet core, there was a section where, to this whole point, where instead of surf turfing, I think they call it, I used the elephant bonanza to suck up all of the thorns. There was like this whole section where you have like grayish white thorns all over, and you're supposed to surf turf all the way down, and I didn't do that. I didn't know what to do. I forgot surf turfing was a thing, so I transformed to the elephant, and it took me forever, but I just sucked up all the thorns.
Nice.
Fought all the enemies. But I love how they account for people skipping parts of the game, like even the Rambi race. You didn't have to do the Rambi race.
What?
Yeah. And in fact, the game developers, they knew that it could be sequence broken, and they acknowledge it in clever ways with a comment, and she's like, do you think we should go back and do the race? Like, should we beat them like fair and square? I don't know. It's just some offhanded comment like that.
Well, now Alex is triggered.
I'm triggered too. I'm triggered with you, Alex. I gathered all that gold and I paid those rocks all of that gold.
Well, but I mean, we're talking about the Rambi race.
So
I know we moved on, but I'm also triggered. I'm just saying.
Okay, fair enough. I'll just say it right now. That was the one part of the game I didn't like, was the Rambi race. I was like, let me explain why. So I thought it was cool seeing Dixie and Diddy Kong. Okay, awesome, sweet. And then this little race, and I even was excited. I was the whole time like, I want to be able to ride Rambi. When am I going to ride? And then finally it happens. I'm like, sweet. And then the race starts, and they put you in a training segment, right, where they teach you how to ride Rambi. The problem was, on the top right side of the screen, there was a button saying, hold this button to start. And I was like, oh, okay. So I held it, and all of a sudden it gets me in the race.
The race.
And I was like, wait, no. It told me that. I was like, so obviously there's user error there, right? I just skipped the training part. So then I'm in the race without training.
No, sorry, that sounds like a UX problem to me.
It is a problem. It is a problem.
The UX guy,
let me explain why. So then I'm racing, and I'm getting beaten. I'm getting beaten the whole race, and I'm like, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, I'm going to try to win, right? And I didn't like the mechanics. It felt clunky. I was just not into it, and I was like, I'm going to lose because I skipped that training, and then I got to do the training, and then I'll do it again. Right at the last 5 seconds of the race, I won, and I just remember scratching my head, going, "How'd I win?" Like, nothing was satisfying to me about that race. I'm like, I shouldn't have won, but I did. Okay, let's move on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing about the race is that it was over very quickly, and you never had to do it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that was very frustrating. Oh, cool! I don't have to do anymore.
Like, sweet. If this would have come back like as a mechanic several other times, I would have been like, Thankfully, no.
I don't know. You all need to get good. I had no problem with it.
Me too. I passed it my first time, but that's beside the point.
I passed it. I passed it my first time too.
I passed it my first time.
We all passed it. It just wasn't fun.
It just wasn't fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can agree there. Yeah. It was interesting, but going back to that main point is, you could beat the game without all of the Bonanza transformations. Absolutely. There are people who are doing challenges now to do what they can without having those Bonanzas. Also, there's some great throwbacks to the whole side-scrolling, almost Donkey Kong Country-like levels that you'd have to do. I thought that was really cool.
I was kind of sad there weren't more of those.
Yeah, me too.
I would have taken a lot more of those. A lot more of those and a lot less of the battle areas.
Oh, right.
I'm sure the battle areas were just easy to make, so they made a million of them.
Yeah,
it's true.
To add to Anthony's point, they were called the nostalgia levels, and rest in peace to anybody who skipped them. You completely missed one of the best parts of the game. But you had the first one that was straight up a reference to the first level to Donkey Kong 51.
Yes.
That was awesome. And then you got Bramble Blast, which was also awesome. So I thought to my head, oh man, wouldn't it be so cool if Bramble Blast was the reference to the second one? Maybe they'll have a nostalgia level to the third game. I don't think they did. That was a little disappointing for me.
I gotta say, I got really hyped when I did the first Donkey Kong Country style level, and they played the music to the jungle theme or whatever. I was like, this is amazing, this remix or whatever they did.
So good.
It was
And it was
so
also
awesome.
such a cherry on top. I mean, we're all '90s kids here, so we're all familiar with the secrets. Well, I imagine. All I know is I was really pleased when I'm like, I wonder if the house is up on the left.
Go
I bet the
back.
house is still there.
Yeah.
And so then I went and I checked, and they gave me a banana, and my brain was like, dopamine.
Instant monkey
awesome.
brain.
That must be
that's
where the
awesome.
last banana was. I'm missing a banana in that level. I couldn't find it to save my life.
That was
Like,
good.
where's
That's
this
got to
last
be it.
banana? That's
I
where
always
it is.
almost every single, even the other levels, I would always go backwards and look like, is there something hidden from the start? It's just something that Donkey Kong always taught me.
Very true.
Yep. Very true.
I don't know about you guys. One of the first things I did when I started the game was I swapped the jump and the down punch buttons. Did anybody else do that? Did it feel more natural to
I
have the...
did it
No.
the second I started.
Yeah.
I started playing the game and I couldn't stand the controls. They drove me nuts. The second I saw that was an option, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I swapped to this like the first 2 minutes of the game, and the second I swapped, it was like, oh,
I agree.
oh my gosh, the game
So
is
nice.
playable. It was- oh man.
Yeah.
Nope, it messed me up. Switching it messed me up, so I had to go back to the original.
Nope, I'm with Austin 100%.
I can see both sides where people prefer it on A instead of B, but I had to have jump on B.
Yep.
It allowed me to do the straight punch and the jump at the same time, so I could just mash both and dig really fast. But some people would prefer to have A be the jump so they could up punch at the same time, and that makes sense. That's fine. But I couldn't do it. It was
X is
know.
up, B is down.
Yeah, that's the way my brain did. So it did
Yeah,
take me
me
a while.
too.
I tripped on B not being jumped for maybe the first 20 minutes. I was like, what? Oh, right, I'm not jumping. But I just drained my brain. Oh, X, it's up for up punch. Y is middle for just middle punch, and then B is the down for down. And so then after that, my brain's like, oh, okay. And then
Yeah, that's what happened to me. And then I tried to switch after I told my brain that. I switched. And then it was all kinds of messed up.
yeah.
I go to punch down, I start jumping. I was like, okay, I better go back. Too late for this.
That's the problem. You have to do it right at the beginning, or you'll get
Yeah.
used to
Yes,
it, and then you'll
correct.
just screw yourself up even
Yep.
more.
Yep.
I just got
That's what
used
I
to
did.
that.
Yeah.
I
I
probably
should
played-
have just stuck with it. I'm sure I could have
No,
trained
you
my
made
brain.
the right choice, Austin.
Oh yeah.
Calm down over there. All right.
You made the right choice. Stick to the tradition.
That's right.
It does sound
There
like you
is
guys
no
are in the minority,
tradition,
though.
man. It's the Wild West.
I don't know. You should make a poll. Ask what the
Hey,
what the
there
viewers
you
think.
go. And then
We're going to have a poll.
Yeah.
There we go.
invite
We're gonna have a poll.
everyone to the Discord. We'll throw the poll
There
in
you
the
go.
Discord.
I
and
like
then
There you go. I like
plug
it.
for our Discord channel,
Plug for Discord channel.
the Discord
In the
server.
description below.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
one
we're at
quick
time,
question.
so-
One
go ahead.
quick question before we end. I wanted to get everyone's opinion on what you felt was the best Bonanza transformation for yourself.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, so for me, I think my favorite in terms of utility and power was the Elephant Bonanza.
Yes.
I mean, especially since that was basically the form you had to spend most of your time in for the final boss. It's just super overpowered. But I don't know, like when it comes to making that decision, I also have to kind of balance it with how much I like the Bonanza themes, which, by the way, are fire.
Oh, they
Yes,
are
I like it.
absolutely. Oh, zebra, zebra,
It's
zebra.
so catchy. I mean, the first few times it came on, I was like, this just feels kind of cheesy. But then the more I got into it, the more I'm like, no, this is hype.
It's so good. Oh, the ostrich one, I just love. Time to
Yes,
find
that one
the
too.
Lulu too. Oh, it's so good.
I think, and that's maybe another poll we'll have to put out there. But
Yeah.
like, what your favorite Bonanza theme is?
Two polls we got.
There you go.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a tie Oh shoot! But then zebra is so good. Oh, I was gonna say I think it's a tie either between Kong or Snake. I really like those two. They're really fun for me. But then
I like the
Bananza
answer
is-
better than your first one.
What's that?
Mine is Kong.
Kong,
I like Kong the best. The elephant was my least favorite. I hate the elephant. I think it's
Really?
broken.
Yeah. Yeah.
What,
It
in
sucks.
terms of-
It sucks all the fun out of destroying the environment.
Oh, whatever, dude. I
Literally.
well, that's a hot take because for me for me when I was trying to like just collect the treasure maps, I'm just like all I have to do is turn on my vacuum cleaner and I get treasure maps every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And the only thing that the elephant bonanza was useful for was the final boss. That's it.
Yes.
Wow,
That's a hot take.
Really
Well,
hot
I
take.
mean, that's objectively wrong.
Anyway,
So
I use that guy
that's
for
why
all the stuff.
yeah.
all the
So
stuff.
I'll jump in. My favorite form by far was the snake. The snake was an absolute reference to Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yep.
And the fact that it uses
True.
the same mechanics, and it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting it. I had the elephant spoiled to me way before I got it. I knew there was an ostrich and a giraffe. Did I say giraffe?
Not a giraffe, but a zebra.
Zebra. Holy crap! I knew that was coming. As far as themes go, the Kong, the first one is, in my opinion, the best theme. They never topped that one. I'm going to say this on behalf of what my wife mentioned, because she said the one thing that she really liked about the game was how you kind of use them all around the end of the game.
Mhm.
But she made a point that I was like, you know what? That would have been so cool. She's like, if only there was the swordfish transformation.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I would have replaced the zebra with the swordfish if I could. Just saying.
zebra? No.
Yes, because the zebra doesn't have any ties to the old Donkey Kong games. Granted, that's not a problem.
Dude, but
It's
those
just-
zebras were pretty chill, bro.
Sure.
Zebra, dude.
Come on, bro.
Chill out, bro. Dude, they were just what a
I love
tremendous
the
stallion.
zebras.
I love the zebras.
But a lot of people are not going to remember this. The elephant has a tie to something you ride in Donkey Kong 3. So the
Oh,
elephant,
yeah, the elephant that like grabs the
Oh, yeah.
So the elephant
You're right.
does have a tie to something you ride in the Donkey Kong Country games. So the only
Interesting.
one that
Still
you
useless.
don't ride out of all these transformations is the zebra. I'm not saying the zebra's bad, but that's just a fun little fact.
Huh, cool.
In some ways, it almost does seem like kind of a missed opportunity that they didn't have Rambi be the zebra transformation because
Yeah,
it would have
That's what I thought too.
yeah,
worked pretty well.
that would have
Yeah.
worked great
That'd be
actually.
That was awesome.
Maybe they
But
just
anyway.
All right, Jack,
want
I don't think we
to
heard
have
yours.
another power form, I guess. But I would say Kong, just because you
Yeah.
turn in the Kong, goes and you start destroying everything. Well, it's like
Super
"Dude,
Saiyan, Donkey Kong."
going off. There's just something about going Super Saiyan, Donkey Kong, destroying everything.
Everybody
Just-
calls it that too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Super
That's-
Saiyan
that's
Donkey
Donkey
true.
Kong. I mean, he
Love
has
it.
the,
Super Donkey
the
Kong.
yellow banana hair.
Yeah,
But
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
there's
That's
just
true, that
something
is true.
about that sets off my monkey brain, you know? Just destroying everything in that form is the greatest.
Oh, that's great.
You know, I do have to realize this conversation has made me realize that that the Kong Bananza in terms of the song might actually win overall just because of the leitmotif they use in the credits theme.
Yes.
Oh man, I thought that was so good. So yeah,
Yeah.
I guess Kong Bananza wins, but they're
Amazing.
all really, really, really good. Anyway,
Yeah.
They are fire. Austin, did you say which one yours? Your favorite was?
I'd have to lean towards the elephant. I do love the ostrich, especially in terms of like its utility, but I wish that it could have been more useful. Like I didn't ever use the egg bomb things really.
I didn't know there was an egg bomb.
Yeah, I used it like
Yeah.
a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it worked out for you because I purchased those abilities or those skills and I did nothing with them. So,
well,
what a waste.
I will say, if you guys ever do the end game stuff and you get to the final challenge level, you're going to need all of those things, and you're going to be very familiar.
Oh, nice.
It's actually tempting.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's standard Nintendo fare. They save all of their really stiff challenges for the post game, and my goodness, are some of them. Yeah. So.
They were cool. Yeah. I've only done a few of them. I haven't finished them yet, but they are hard.
It's tempting, but I'm not going to do it. It's just a collectathon.
Yes, it brought back the collectathon for you, but in a fun way.
Hold on. So, Jack, first of all, the bananas that you need, it's not a super high number, and then also there's like a boss rush that gets added that you don't need bananas for, and it gives you it's at least 20 bananas for doing the entire thing. Like they're pretty generous near the end, so it's not the worst thing. Anyway,
yeah. Well,
there we go.
Still not gonna do it. I have other games to play.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
That's very sad.
I as much as I'd love to go back and play, I'm like, my head is just deep. I'm like, Hollow Knight. I gotta do Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight. I gotta finish my Hollow Knight too before the Hollow Knight sits on.
Yeah.
I stole
guys.
I stole a Switch 2 to play it, so I had to give it back.
Alex needs to get a Switch 2 still.
I'm keeping it
before
hostage
the price
from
checks up.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
Anyway. Well, guys, that is our review for Donkey Kong Bananza. Let us know down in the comments what you think of the game, what your form is. Do not say elephant, or you will be kicked out. I'm just kidding, you won't. There's no wrong answers. And let us know what your thoughts are about the ending and about all things Donkey Kong Bananza. And stay tuned. We have more content coming. We've got some more. We have Hollow Knight Silk Song that's going to be released soon. Austin's doing a playthrough right now of Hollow Knight, blind playthrough.
Yep.
So look forward to that, and it's been going great. And we got a whole bunch more content coming your way. So until next time, guys.
Keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.